Hi, welcome to Module 1 of Student Success Strategies, Tools for Top Achievers in College and Beyond. In Module 1, we will focus on setting the perspective, the lens, and the way we look at the world to drive success in what we do. In this video, we will describe the 4 values that will start us on this journey and set the stage for what will come. So why values? Why are we even talking about this? Why are values important? Well, in this context, values are a set of intrinsic beliefs that help us identify what is desirable and useful and prioritize the general worth of what we are doing. You might think of them like a North Star, a lead mark that points us in the right direction without telling us exactly what path we will take to get there. The values we will discuss today are taken from a proven playbook from industry, known as the Agile Manifesto. Written in 2001, this set of values and principles has driven a revolution in the software industry, a reimagining of the manufacturing industry, and a complete upheaval in the world of project management. By using these proven tools, we will dial in on what matters most for you and what will deliver the best results. Of the 4 values we will discuss today, the first is individuals and interactions over process and tools. Process and tools have gotten a lot of attention in recent years. The rise of AI with ChatGPT, Midjourney, Gemini, even Tesla's FSD have dominated discussions across media. When applying for a school, training for a sport, or even getting your driver's license, you've come across process as essential to understand how to get the results that you want. Process and tools are important, without a doubt, but behind each bureaucratic process, new technological tool, or innovation are people. People working together created every administrative process you interact with. It is teams of people who created ChatGPT, who are releasing updates to Tesla's FSD, and who generate the creative, inventive, and innovative ideas that are successful today. Both of these are important, but when faced with a choice of filling out a form or speaking to a person to convey the same information, which would you prefer? The form may be more time efficient, but the interaction with individuals has more value. More information is exchanged during a conversation through words, body language, and the observations of the interaction. Personal interaction allows the opportunity to flesh out more detail to general questions and provides opportunities for amplifying questions and follow-ups to dial in on details that may have been missed in filling out a form. Personal interaction is more flexible, dynamic, responsive, and adaptable. These are characteristics that are fundamental to lean agile thinking and what has made agile so successful in the rapidly changing environments of business, technology, and the world today. In practical terms, this means don't text when you can call. Don't call when you can video chat. And meet in person instead of video whenever possible. The second value is working software over comprehensive documentation. The authors of the Agile Manifesto were predominantly software engineers, so when they wrote the manifesto, creating software was their use case. We are going to tweak this slightly to modernize it and apply it to our use case. So let's rewrite it to say, completed product over comprehensive documentation. Okay, so what is a product? A product is a thing or service that is the result of an action or process. Your college degree is a product and the result of your successful completion of the required classes and credits to graduate. Your grade in a class and GPA overall is the result of your cumulative completion of various assignments and projects assigned to you by the instructor. By comparison, comprehensive documentation may be your plan to complete that work. It may be the diligent recording of all the requirements of an assignment. It could be any and all of the surrounding activities that support the creation of the completed product that you're graded on. At the end of the day, it is the completed product or work that gets you the grade. It is your essay, lab, case study, or presentation that earns you the reward of the desired grade. Your plan of action, the scoped out requirements for the lab, and the schedule of when your team meets to work on the assignment are all important, but it does not earn you the desired grade. Therefore, it is less important than the completed product or work. Value number 3. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Contracts are fire and forget products. There's usually a lot of effort that goes into creating and agreeing to the terms of any contract. However, once the contract is signed, it is usually never changed. Contracts then become a proxy and a reference for what the customer wants. It does not take into account the changing environment and the needs of the customer, which usually leads to customer dissatisfaction. By comparison, collaboration and transparent communication with the customer paired with frequent feedback loops allow for the iterative adaptation to changing environments and customer needs. This historically has resulted in more effective products, more satisfied customers, and more successful outcomes. In an academic context, you might receive a syllabus at the beginning of your term with your assignments, required readings, and deadlines for each. You may have the references and requirements of what needs to be in each assignment. For example, an essay may need to be 3,000 words with a title page, a table of contents, bibliography, and footnotes cited. This would be the equivalent of a contract, detailing the requirements and specifications of the assignment. What this misses are the nuances of preference, unstated expectations, and conditions for your success based on the instructor. In two different classes, you might have one instructor who is fanatical about grammar and structure. That instructor's expectations may be focused less around the content of your ideas and instead the form in which those ideas are expressed. Missed punctuation, poor sentence structure, and the wrong reference format may take an assignment that could have been an A+ down to a C-, all because you used footnotes instead of endnotes, or MLA citations instead of the APA or Chicago style. The second instructor may care little for your grammatical errors and format faux pas, and is more focused on your comprehension and explanation of critical thinking concepts, scientific theories, or creative computer coding solutions. The only way to know what your customer, the instructor grading your assignment, wants is by collaborating, communicating, and getting feedback from them on what they want. This may involve a conversation where you propose the concept for a paper or assignment and get feedback from the instructor on whether or not your concept is good or not. You could provide the instructor with a copy of your draft for initial feedback, where they can identify those nuances that could cost you the grade you were looking for. Feedback allows you to identify what the customer or the instructor values, and then tailor your response to what they value most, giving you the best result. This allows you to double down on the things that matter, cut out the things that don't, reducing your frustration, improving your results, and putting a smile on your face when you get that A+. The last value for today is responding to change over following a plan. When you go to college for the first time, there is so much that is new and that you need to learn. Any plan that you may have had in your mind as to how you are going to make it through the next 4 years will most likely be obsolete after day 1 of classes. There are going to be opportunities you never considered, constraints you were unaware of, people you didn't know you were going to meet, and challenging circumstances you thought you'd overcome. Of the too many cliche examples of how plans don't survive without being adapted, my favorite is the Mike Tyson quote, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face." That jarring realization may be the first assignment you get back with a grade you weren't expecting. It may be the tryout for a team where you didn't make the cut, or being let down by a person or process you thought was going to come through. Whatever it is, your ability to respond to change will be the deciding factor of your success. Plans are important and useful as they help us create frames of reference on how to move forward. However, the pace of change in modern business, technology, and society is so fast that success is measured by how quickly and effectively you can adapt to that change. In the next video, we will be discussing the principles that help us focus these 4 values into tangible actions that drive the results that we're looking for. I'll see you in the next video.